Hello, welcome to the Love Yourself Healthy podcast. I am Melanie Lillis, eating psychology coach and nutritional therapist. We are going to be diving into the realm of all things health, yet talking about them from the mind, body, nutrition dimensions. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Love Yourself Healthy podcast. I have been thinking about the next podcast that I wanted to share, and I actually came across a blog post from the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, and it talked about body image, and I just knew that this is the topic that I really wanted to tackle today, and I want to share some different insight with you. So I want to share with you one reason why it's so hard to have a great body image and what to do about it. So, the whole body image thing that we go through as human beings, it's crazy. We have such a hard time learning how to love our own body. We get given one body to live in, one body that keeps us alive and allows us to do all these incredible things, but for some reason, it's just not enough. And if you can get to that place, and maybe you've been there before, or maybe you intuited at the deepest level of your being, if I could only fall in love with this body that I have right now, I'm going to fall in love with life. Things are going to be good. And there is a truth to that some here, but this is what I want to say. There's a sense of hatred, unhappiness, and dissatisfaction towards the body that can lead us into all kinds of unwanted eating challenges. We go crazy doing intense exercise and living in a state of constant self-rejection, constant dieting, constant trying to change the body just so I can love myself. Now, if you struggle with body image, then there's something I really want you to know. And there's something that I want you to know about why you have been having such a hard time to turn this around. Because you have been, and so many of us have been. We have this hard time to just love our body for who we are right now. And I want to share with you one important reason why it is so hard to have a great body image. It's this. A negative body image is a virus, and it's a virus that circulates in the world. You don't own this. You didn't originate this thing called bad body image. It exists in the world, and it's way bigger than any one person. Have you ever heard someone say, "Oh my God, I can't believe this. I look at the magazines, I look on TV, I look on the internet, and I can't help it. There's all this pressure coming at you, and you're supposed to look like this, otherwise you're not good enough." And they're right. It's way bigger than us. Every place you go, you are being programmed. Your mind is being grabbed by this crazy nonsense. It is insane what we are being asked to look like. It pollutes our mind, and it does get into us like a virus, and it takes over your brain. It directs you to do really stupid nonsense things like very intense dieting or exercising 24/7, literally cutting off your body fat and getting plastic surgery, all of this kind of thing. So it is bigger than us. You don't own it. And this is why you haven't been able to defeat it by yourself. But I have some good news. We, me and you, all of us, we are creating a collective immune response to the viral belief. So my immune system, your immune system, it's not enough to handle this on its own. But if we gather as a collective, massive, massive things can happen. Now, you can already see this happening in society, but you can also see how society can shape the way we view different body shapes. When I was 18 and I would go out like clubbing, being sickly thin was in. Like it was cool if you had collarbones showing and your spine was sticking out. If you didn't have your bones sticking out, you weren't attractive. All the cool girls were pretty much anorexic. As time went on, the Kardashian body shape started coming in. So anyone with big bums and a really curvaceous body suddenly became confident in what they had and they would flaunt it. Thicker thighs, a bigger bum, that all became kind of cool. So it doesn't matter what size or shape you are. Society literally changes the way we view things. So if we can come together as a collective and inspire and glorify all types of body shapes, we will see a huge increase in self-esteem and happiness within ourselves. Why do we sit here and waste our life focusing on something that we cannot change? You were born with the shape you have. If you don't love it now, you'll spend your whole life hating something that has given you life. Is this really how you want to live? I know that is definitely not how I want to live. And wouldn't you just rather be spending your life channeling your energy into better things like making your memories or creating friendships, having new experiences, feeling confident, instead of saying no about, going to the beach with your friends because you're worried about what you look like? The more hatred we feed our brains, the worse our quality of life is. You can decide to change how you feel about your body right now. This is a decision. It is a decision to stop the self-sabotage and focus on what your body can do instead of how your body looks. And this is the same when we're talking about other people. Stop body shaming. Lift each other up. Again, if we can come together as a collective and we can create a society that accepts all body shapes and glorifies all body shapes, imagine what it can do. If you follow a girl named M. Carey on Instagram, or even maybe you've just seen articles about her, then you're going to know this story. This girl went on a trip to Europe where she decided to go skydiving in Switzerland. When she was skydiving, unfortunately, her parachute didn't open properly, and essentially she free fell to the ground where she broke her L1, her pelvis, and shattered most of her teeth. She spent 4 months recovering in hospital, learning how to use a body that was numb from the waist down. So doctors told her that she was paralyzed from the waist down and would never walk again. But 4 months later, she took her first steps. Now, she still does not have feeling from the waist down, yet she has trained her body to use muscle memory to be able to walk. Now, the point of me telling you this story is that she put a post up not long ago that talked about how before her accident, she was never really appreciative of her body. She used to stress about putting on weight and was embarrassed to wear shorts. She wished the universe would have given her a warning, because if it did, she would have spent her time very differently. She would have loved her body for all that it can do. She would have run up mountains while she had the chance. She would have walked barefoot on the grass and memorized how the ground felt below her feet, something that we all take for granted. She would have been more adventurous, more talkative, more honest, more youthful. She would have soaked up the feeling of normal and written about it so at least somewhere it could be permanent. She would have loved every second of her life. Sometimes we get caught up thinking that nothing big is happening for us, or that our life is too boring or too normal. Normal is a blessing, and it's one of those things that we don't realize is important until we lose it. We should be embracing life and embracing our body as if we are going to lose it. And when you really take a step back and put yourself in someone else's shoes, you realize how stupid we must be worrying about a little extra body fat, or that we don't have a thigh gap like the photoshopped girls on Instagram. We need to start a movement. I must say, there is already a movement starting to happen online. You can already see some great videos by all kinds of people, young and old, who are stepping up, and they're creating a new culture around love and accepting the body that you've got. We're creating new memes, we're creating new conversations, we're creating new images, and we're beginning to love ourselves. Now, it takes time and it takes listening. There is no perfect body shape. The more we can see this, the more we can see how truly amazing our own bodies are. So hang around body positive friends. Hang around people who can be thought leaders in this, who can help you take a step further. Watch people online who are saying, I love my body for what it is now. That's the collective immune response that we're doing. Stop isolating, don't be alone, because when you step into being part of the collective immune response of learning to love what you've got, that collective immune response comes into your system and you start to love and accept yourself like never before. Thank you so much for listening. Please be sure to subscribe and follow me on Instagram at Melanie Lillis, or you can email me at lyh_podcast@outlook.com. I look forward to chatting with you all next week. Bye bye.